Artificial intelligence is seemingly everywhere and is increasingly being used to create sophisticated scams that are even leaving experts second-guessing. 2025 report from the National Anti-Scam Centre found Australians lost $945 million to investment scams last year. That's accounting for almost half of the total $2 billion fleeced by scammers. Now, Dr. Lennon Chang is an Associate Professor in Cyber Risk and Policy at Deakin University and joins us now from Melbourne. Can you tell us, how is AI changing the nature of these scams?
Thanks, Gemma. I would say fraud is nothing new. Technology has been assisted to advance the way that criminals do the fraud. And what AI do now is to make the story more real, and they can create new text, stories, and even images to let the victims believe the story is true.
Dr. Chang, what sort of scams tend to be favoured by that scammer using artificial intelligence?
Well, I think all kinds of scams are now using AI as a way to facilitate the scam process. For example, in Australia, we see quite a bit of virtual kidnapping, and what AI can do now to assist the virtual kidnapping will be that they can come up with a better story and create the images with the victims, to let their parents and their relatives back in their hometown believe the kidnapping is true, so that convince them to pay for the ransom.
So, I mean, I want to ask you about the typical red flags, but I guess a lot of the basic due diligence is probably not enough when it comes to artificial intelligence. You know, some of those past rules for verification go out the window. What does go out the window in this? So what can't we trust anymore, and what can we use to verify this?
Yeah, it's actually making all the in old days we suggest people to do the fact checking and do the due diligence, but it makes the story even this kind of due diligence even difficult now, as the story can even be made up. So in the past, when we suggest people who don't know whether this scam or not, we ask them to go to the website to check whether that's the feedbacks are positive, whether there's a huge a long feedback. But all these kind of things can be generated by AI now. So even if they create a website, it can be perfectly like a normal ones or the real ones. So it's become very difficult for us to really double check. And what we can do probably is when you are not, what we'll suggest to the potential victims or people who think they might be a scam, is that they need to talk to their friends, their relatives, some professionals, to see whether they think this is a scam or not. And especially when you are uncertain, that's the time for you to reach out for help.
And I guess to at least step out of that website. For example, investment firms in Australia must have a licence to provide a financial service. So if you were to go to their website and cross-check this, that's just one way of verifying whether this is a scam or not.
Yeah, if it's, for example, if we see the news today on the scam of investment into minings. If it's Australian companies, they definitely have an ABN or a registration with the authorities, so they might be the place to go and check, or even a phone call to those authorities to check whether the company is a real one or a fake one. But the issue here will be if it is from overseas, it might be difficult to really do the double checking. There might be something that we need to raise more awareness, especially when the fraud, the scams comes out.
Dr. Lennon Chang, Associate Professor in Cyber Risk and Policy at Deakin University. Thank you for speaking with us today.
Thank you for having me.